Hello, and welcome to Chapter 3 Homework. How y'all doing? This is your hostess with the mostest, Professor Naragon, bringing you the best hits of Chapter 3. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what we got. So, question 1. Suppose you're going to the grocery store, and you end up spending $74.92 for the purchase of 11 items. What is your mean price per item? Now, remember from the PowerPoint, the little slides and lecture videos, when we talk about mean, again, that is the average. So since we already have a total for what you spent at the grocery store, and we know how many items you bought, we can go ahead and take our calculator. Here it is. Again, I would always suggest if you're going to use the built-in calculator to your web browser, especially Windows, try to put it on scientific mode so you can have all the items that we need. Again, it's not going to be as great as a scientific calculator, but it's close enough for our purposes right now. So again, simple average, we take the total of all of our items, the cost of them, and divide it by the number of items that we have. So for me, my average, since we're dealing with money, it's 2 decimal places, would be about $6.81. Again, always check my work, making sure everything is correct. Again, not a simplistic problem here. But of course, we gotta get a little bit more strong here, stringent, complicated. So here we got the mean, median, and mode of commissions earned for 11 years. And we can have the Excel data, which we'll probably go right into. But we'll go ahead and... Actually, let's go ahead and do that. That makes life a little bit easier for us. So, let it boot up. There it is. Enabling that edit. Okay, so we want to find the mean. Now again, when I highlight the numbers, I can easily find the average. They always do the average right here if we want to find the mean. But we're going to go ahead and auto sum anyway. So, formulas, auto sum. And if you just want to do it, you can go equal to our total and divide by the number that we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like 11 years. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So 233. Yep, same number down here. So always helps, gives us the count as well, and also the sum. Some auto features. So this is 2 decimal places. So 233. We're at 233.47. Alright, so now median mode. Remember, median is the one that falls right in the middle when the numbers are in order. So, best way to do that with our Excel is as the numbers are highlighted, let's go to data, sort, and tell it to go ahead and sort. Oh, we missed one. Okay, there we go. So now they're sorted from smallest to largest. You can do largest to smallest as you want, but we're going to find the middle. Now, since this is an odd number, there's 11, we need to find number 6. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that one is going to be the one that's going to fall right in the middle, where we have 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom, and that's going to be your median, 234.20. Nice. Alright. Next, using our Excel data, we need to find the mode. Now, the mode is usually, again, a number that typically repeats itself, which we really don't have a mode. We don't have one number that repeats itself on its own. So, let's see if they will actually go. No mode. Look at that. They even, it's a drop down bar where it gives us 2 other ones. That's fun with Connect. Yeah, 262.44 and then 234.20, which is the mean. But none of them are there. So there is no mode. There's no number that repeats. It happens. Okay, so that's 2. Let's move on to the next. And again, if you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to go ahead and send me a question and we can go through it. Alright. So, this one's about the same that we have going on that we just did. I'm not going to go through this one because, again, it's basically the same. We got the Excel data and it wants us to find the average in part A. And then again, the median and the mode in part B, which is what falls in the middle. Since this is 12 information. Remember, for median, we're going to take the 2 numbers in the middle and add them and divide by 2. And then mode, again, we're going to find the most number that repeats. And then they want you to compute the mean and median for just the winter months. So they say actually December through March, which would just be 4. And again, since we want to have 2 numbers that are in the middle, since it's even, we're going to have to add and divide by 2. Okay. And then, of course, don't forget about this last question. Alright. Question 4. In June, an investor purchased 350 shares of Oracle. Again, that's one of the chief information technology companies that we got. Stock at $18 per share. Okay. In August, she purchased an additional 310 at 28. In November, she purchased an additional 570 shares at 34. What is the weighted? Okay. Again, when we look at weight, we have a certain number of items that are at a certain price point. Here, in order to solve this one, we would need to take each of these, so 350 times 18 plus 310 times 28 plus, it looks like we only have 3, so that's awesome, 570 times 34. And we're going to divide that by the total items. So 350 plus 310 plus 570. So this says our average share price is 27.93. Now, if you're again trying to put all those in the calculator, make sure you have parentheses. It will help you out, because if you don't, it will do order of operations and may not come out to the same answer as the correct one. There we go. So that's when we do it weighted. Alright. So now it's time to deal with question 5. And of course it has now variance. So when we look at variance, the biggest thing that we need to do is, again, our little chart that we have in Excel. This will help us out tremendously on figuring out the numbers. So since this is a simple one, we're going to go ahead and take our Excel. We're going to put in our 5 items. So 8, 5, 5, 5, 8. We're going to find the total, auto sum, and of course, oh, that's probably going to be too close. Find the mean, auto sum, so that total divided by, again, how many values? We have 5. So that answer is 6.2. Okay. Double check, since we got 2 parts, to make sure that answer is correct, because you're going to need that to finish off to find the variance. So remember, the variance first needs our number minus mu. Again, cannot do mu, or it's a little bit tougher to do mu. So we're just going to have the regular m, and the mean is mu. This was a sample. It will be S for sample size. Either way, same thing. So we're going to take the number that we have minus our mean. Again, don't just click this box and then click the box that you have your mean on in. Because if you do, once you do the drag down effect, it's going to not calculate correctly, because it's going to drag down here too. But that's all you got to do. That's not our variance though yet. It's like, no, it's not. What we're going to do is auto sum. Always make sure it comes down to 0. Okay? But here we go. Next step is we got to take our numbers now that we just calculated and square them. Which basically means we take the number and multiply it by itself. So here in Excel, hit equal. Again, select the box. Select it again to get the multiplication, 3.24. Highlight it down so it hits all of our numbers. And then we'll go and do an auto sum again. Yay, auto sum using sigma. So for our variance, we now can take this total and divide by 5. The number of items we have. So the variance is 2.16. Sweet. Check. And boom. Okay. Nothing more to question 5. Okay. Question 6 is another mean and median. So since this is a little bit bigger, why not let's go ahead and have some fun. So hopefully you were able to do question 3 here. Again, we have a big number here. So we have 40. Again, the average looks like it is 38.15. Again, using our handy dandy little chart there. Always at the bottom of the Excel. Make it a little bit quicker. Next, we're going to sort, because we need to find the median. Which number falls in between? Since this is going to be even, again, whatever two numbers fall in the middle is what we're going to basically add and divide by 2. So that would make it basically, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right in the middle should be those two, 19 and 20. Because it gives me basically 18 here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No. Actually, it'll fall under 20 and 21. 19 on each side. Okay, so again, we're finding the middle. So make sure that you have an even number. So I have 19 here. And if I count from 22 down, I should have 19 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, 19. So these two numbers, 39 and 40, fall right in the middle. Since they're in the middle, I'm looking for median. I have to find what falls in between these two. So, we'll go equals, in parentheses, these two added together. Again, close parentheses, and then divide by 2. So our number will be 39.5. Alright, so again, watch out on the decimal places that says. Now, we may not make it to 3 decimal places like I have, but other ones, since this is algorithmic, may have them. So be careful of that. Check my work. And it's good to go. So that's what happens when it's an even number. Okay. So 7, we have our data. And again, we're just finding the mean, median, and mode. So which number repeats the most? So again, sort is the best option when you get this data. Especially when you want to try and find mode. Oh, enable edit. Add a sort. Okay. Again, looks like we have an even amount. So you know how to figure out median already. Gotta find the two middle numbers. And now finding mode. Since it's sorted, makes it a little bit easier to find which number repeats. So I have 296s. So I'm looking for anything above 2. Looks like we got 3 111s for us. So now it's looking for anything that has 3 of a kind. Nope, don't have 3 of a kind, so 111 would have been my mode. Again, you can have multiple modes, you can have no mode. Okay, so whichever one has the most repeating. Okay, the repeating factor. Again, we've already gone through mean and median. Means the average, and median is, again, what falls in the middle. Since we, again, have an even set, you're going to have to add the 2 in the middle and divide by 2. Next, we have range and standard deviation. Yes, we brought in some more fun. Okay, so first, the range in itself. Let's go ahead and bring up Excel. We'll just do a new tab in this one. And we're going to put our numbers in. 34, 21, 66, 43, 50, 20, 79, 39, 38. Okay, and this is a sample, so be careful of this. Okay, because sample changes the factors in a little bit. I'll show you what. Alright, back to our Excel. Okay, double check, make sure we got all the numbers in. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 numbers, they're in. First thing we need to do is create the range, which we need to sort the data. And then we take the largest minus the smallest, the maximus versus minus the minimus. And we end up with 59. Check. Always check. Okay. Now it's time to create standard deviation. Which standard deviation is, again, the square root of the variance. So we get to have some fun. Yay! Everybody goes, yay! Yay! So, back here on our Excel, time to compute the variance. So again, in order to compute the variance, we need a couple of columns. First one is, of course, our x minus mu, which we don't have mu yet. So let's compute mu. Data. No formulas. There's our auto sum. There's our auto sum. Since we have 10 numbers, we take that one and divide by 10. Okay. So there's our mean. Next, we're going to basically take mu, our average. I think it actually changes to x bar here because it's sample. So let's see. Yeah, since it's a sample, it's X bar. So we're just going to put it as big X. Right now, I mean, I can't put that term in unless I go search for it and copy and paste kind of thing. So you can call it X bar. X bar. There we go. Because there is a certain thing that we have to do because this is a sample that we have to watch out for. But this number is basically the same as x minus mu, where we take the number minus the mean and goes straight down. And see what happened? That's what I was warning about. We couldn't do that because I did that because I was being distracted by different explanation. Because it does not calculate correctly. Because it will drag down like this. And they're all blank. There we go. And make sure we auto sum. Just to make sure it's 0. It will always 0 out. Next, we're going to take x minus x bar in parentheses. And we're going to square it. Just like before. Nothing different going on so far. So that number times itself. And there we go. And find the total. Auto sum. Okay, now here's the part that changes. So again, we're going to take the total. Now since this is sample, when you divide, in the denominator, the bottom part of the fraction, because it's a sample variant and we're not using the actual population, we have to take the number that we have of items. So we have 10 and minus 1. So that will be our variance, which is 361.43. Okay. Again, because it's sample, it has to be smaller than the actual population size. Next, the standard deviation. Okay, so we finished really the hard part. Next, it's just putting in the square root. So again, go to your stats, go find square root. And if it's not here, you go to math. Probably math would be quicker. There's square root. Square root. And then highlight that. And then hit enter. So that is our standard deviation. It's 19. Not too bad. It wants us to round to 2 decimal places. So here is 19.01. Okay, so the biggest thing with this is making sure you know the difference between population and sample. Only the samples, we do the denominator as n minus 1. If it is population, it's just the items, how many we have. So be careful of that. Question 9. Again, it will tell you it's a sample, like this one says. A sample of 25 undergrads reported the following dollar amounts of entertainment expenses last year. Here's our Excel items. So again, we're going to find mean, median, and mode, which really does not matter if it's population or sample, because it comes out to whatever the numbers are. That were our data set, where we find the average, the middle, which since this is 25, the number's already here. You just got to find the middle number. And the mode, which one repeats. Again, sort. And then B just puts in what we just did in problem 8 with range and standard deviation. So again, don't forget that n minus 1 when you figure out your variance. All right. Question 10. Okay. So question 10 is just a question, just asking about empirical rule. So, whichever one it is, I would strongly encourage you just to go to the slide and go right to that slide about empirical rule, because that's going to give you your numbers. So, like this one, x minus 2 and x plus 2 by the empirical rule, 95%. Okay. According to the rule, what will lie between x and x plus 2? Again, since we're looking at basically half of this, we half that. 47.5. And then according to the rule, the rates that lie below x minus 2 will be 2.5. Because again, under the barrel curve, we're going to have what's left after x bar plus 2 and x minus 2. X bar minus 2, which is 5% total, but 2.5 on each side. Wow, that's unique. So I end up with an error right there. Looks like something's going on with Connect in itself. So I get to see all the courses. There's your work. See if we can get back to that last question anyway. See if it changed at all. If it changed, then it's okay. Because that was unique. Didn't realize we have that. Yeah, so we have a new, again, since it's algorithmic, is new where it gets x minus 1s and x plus 1s, which again, you'll just be looking at what the rule is. Apparently this one's at 68, and be doing the same items. That's fine. Alright, so that's the last question for chapter 3. Again, now that you are getting more used to how this course is going on, you're going to notice that if it's starting to repeat, I will probably end up starting to skip it more, as again, I need to see how well you're learning the material. But if you do have questions, please go ahead and ask them. I have no problems of answering those questions, because you're not going to learn if you don't ask. That's the question. That's the answer right there. Anyway, y'all guys have a great day. I'll see y'all next time for the next exciting chapter of statistics when we hit chapter 4.